Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about one of the member belonging to family Caesalpinaceae, that is a Caesalpinia pulcherrima. In this topic we are going to discuss about classification of Caesalpinia pulcherrima, its vegetative characters, reproductive characters, floral formula and floral diagram. So let's see first the classification of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So see that the plant Caesalpinia pulcherrima, it belongs to kingdom Plantae. Why it is included under the Plantae? Because it is one of the chlorophyll bearing plant. Then it belongs to subkingdom Tracheobionta. The meaning of Tracheobionta is it shows presence of well-developed vascular system, means it shows presence of well-developed xylem and phloem. Then it belongs to division Angiospermae. And why it is included under the angiosperms? Because the ovules are enclosed in ovary and they show presence of double fertilization. Then it belongs to class Dicotyledone because it shows presence of two cotyledons. The root system is taproot system and the reticulate venation of the leaves. Next, it belongs to subclass Roseidae. Then, why the Caesalpinia pulcherrima is included under the subclass Roseidae? Because most of the members of family Caesalpinaceae, or you can say the Caesalpinia pulcherrima, they are either the tree or shrub members. The leaves, they are mostly alternate or opposite. Then it belongs to order Fabaceae because they show presence of polypetalous flowers. The family of Caesalpinia pulcherrima is Caesalpinaceae because the leaves are peripinnate one. The flowers, they are zygomorphic, and mostly the number of stamen which is present under the Caesalpinaceae, it is the number 10, and the genus is Caesalpinia and species Pulcherrima. So this is the overall classification along with its reason of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Then next we see the vegetative characters and reproductive characters of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So first we see the vegetative character. Under the vegetative characters, we have to study the four characters. That is, the first one is habit. Next one, the root of that plant. Third one is the stem of that plant. And fourth one is the leaves of that plant. So under the vegetative characters, first we study the habit of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So if you observe around your surrounding, so about the habit of Caesalpinia pulcherrima, most of them, they are either the large shrubs or they are small trees. See this one, this is the large shrub and this is the actual inflorescence of the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So next we see the roots which are observed under the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So remember that one, as Caesalpinia pulcherrima, it is one of the dicot member. That's why the root system which is present here is always a tap root system. So see that how the tap root system is. So it shows the presence of main root, and the main root it get divided into the lateral roots, and lateral roots they show presence of root hairs. So this is the type of root which is observed under the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Then next we see the stem which is observed in the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So see that what is the peculiar nature of stem which is observed in Caesalpinia pulcherrima. As most of the members of this family, they are the shrub or tree members. So see that the stem is erect, cylindrical, it is woody, and it shows the presence of branches. Then one of the important feature of this family, or you can say the Caesalpinia pulcherrima, is it shows the presence of thorns, or it shows the presence of prickles on the stem. This is one of the distinguishing character of the family Caesalpiniaceae, which we are going to observe here. That is, the stem is prickly, then it is a hard, woody, cylindrical, and it is branch one. So these are the characters of stem which is observed in the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. The next character about the stem is glabrous. The meaning of glabrous is the stem does not show presence of hairs. That's why it is called as an glabrous stem. So the next character which we study under the vegetative character, that is the leaves. So if you observe the leaves which are present in the Caesalpinia pulcherrima, so see that it shows a presence of stalk. Okay, that's why the leaves are petiolate. Then it does not show presence of any stipule. Okay, that's why the leaves are ex-stipulate in nature. Then leaves which are present in the Caesalpinia pulcherrima, they are the compound leaves, and mostly they are bipinnately compound. So this arrangement, this is called as an bipinnately compound leaves. Okay, uh, this is called as an bipinnately compound leaves. So if you observe the leaves, so the leaves are peripinnate, which are observed under the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Also see that what are the peripinnate leaves. So whenever the rachis get end into two leaves, there is no single leaf at the apex. So at that time, the type of leaf it is called as an peripinnate. Remember once again, the peripinnate leaves means whenever the rachis it get end into the two leaves. So that type of arrangement of leaves it is observed in the Caesalpinia pulcherrima called as an peripinnate leaves. Then if you observe the shape of leaves, so the shape of leaf is elliptic. Then if you minutely observe the leaves which are present under the Caesalpinia pulcherrima, so at the tip region or at the apex region, it shows the presence of small needle-like structure. So that type of leaf or that type of apex, it is called as an mucronant. Okay. So if the leaf apex shows a presence of small needle-like portion, it is called as an mucronant. And one of the feature of the dicot, that is the leaves shows the presence of reticulate venation. So if you observe the dorsal side of the leaf, you can see the reticulate venation of the leaves. So these are the vegetative characters of Caesalpinia pulcherrima, that is habit, root, stem, and leaves. Then next we see what are the reproductive characters of that plant. So under the reproductive characters, the first comes, that is the inflorescence. So the type of inflorescence which is observed under the Caesalpinia pulcherrima is racemose type of inflorescence. So this see this picture. If you observe this one, so in this peduncle, if you observe at the apical region, so here the young flowers they are present at the apex, and older flowers they are present at the base region. So this type of inflorescence is called as racemose type of inflorescence. Then next character which comes under the reproductive character, that is the flowers. So if you observe the flower of Caesalpinia pulcherrima, it shows the presence of stalk. That's why the flowers are pedicellate one. If you observe here at the base, at the base region, it shows the presence of bract. So the flowers are bracteate. Then as it shows presence of all the four orals, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, that's why the flower is complete. Then the flower is bisexual, as the flower shows presence of both the sex organs, that is androecium and gynoecium, that's why it is called as bisexual. Then the flower is zygomorphic. The flower zygomorphic means whenever you are going to cut the flower in a single plane, then it will give two equal parts. So this one is called as an zygomorphic flower. Then the flower is a perigynous. The perigynous flower means here basically the calyx and corolla, they are going to originate from the base of ovary. But if you observe the androecium and androecium, they are going to originate from the apex of the ovary. So this condition of flower, it is called as an perigynous condition, in which the two orals, they are growing from above the ovary and two orals from the base of ovary. This is called as an perigynous nature or perigynous condition of the flower. Then the flowers which are observed under the Caesalpinia pulcherrima, they are pentamerous. The meaning of pentamerous is that whatever the calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, they are present, they are in the multiple of 5. That's why the flower is pentamerous one. Then if you observe the color of flower, they are yellowish red color flowers. So this is about the flower of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Then next we see the next character, that is the calyx. So under the calyx, first you have to denote the number of calyx. So here calyx we are denoted by sepals. So here the sepals, they are in number 5. If you observe the sepals, they are free. That's why they are polysepalous. But even though they show presence of polysepalous condition, but they are present in two orals and they show presence of imbricate estivation. The type of estivation which is observed in the calyx is imbricate type of estivation. So see this one, these are the calyx which are observed in the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. These are the androecium and these are the petals. So the next character which comes under the reproductive character, that is the corolla. So here we denote the corolla by petals. So here the petals are 5. They also show the presence of polypetalous condition. The petals are free one. They are also present in two orals and they also show presence of imbricate type of estivation. Then next we see about the androecium. So the main characteristic feature of that family is most of the members which are belonging to family Caesalpiniaceae, the anthers, they are generally in number 10. So here also in Caesalpinia pulcherrima, the stamens, they are 10. They are free. The anthers are dithecous, means the structure of anther, whenever you are going to observe, it is like that. This structure, it is called as an dithecous, and whenever you are going to take the TS of that anther, you are going to visualize the 4 Bolen sacs. Okay. So this one, this is called as an dithecous anther, which is observed under the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Then here the stamens, they are introse. Introse means what? They are slightly inclining to inner side of the flower. So this one is called as an introse anther. Then the next feature under the reproductive character, that is the gynoecium. So see that gynoecium which is observed under the Caesalpinia pulcherrima, it is monocarpellary. See this one, whenever we are going to dissect the flower, this is one is the thalamus, this is the ovary, this is the style, and this one is the stigma. So stigma which is present here is basically monocarpellary. As the flower it is perigynous, that's why ovary is inferior in Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Basically the ovary it is unilocular. See that this one, whenever you are going to take the LS of ovary, okay, you here you have to take the LS of ovary to observe the unilocular nature of the ovary. And here the type of placentation which is present here, it is the marginal type of placentation. The type of placentation which is observed here is marginal type of placentation. Then next, about the type of fruits which are observed in Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So see that the type of fruit which is observed in that plant, it is a pod. Okay, so see that one, these are the pods of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So this is about the vegetative and reproductive characters of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Then by observing the vegetative and reproductive characters, we have to make a floral formula for that. So see that this is the floral formula of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. So our flower it is a bracteate. So we have to write down here BR. Then the flowers are zygomorphic. So this sign it can indicate the zygomorphic nature of the flower. Then as the flower it shows both androecium as well as gynoecium. So here this sign it will indicate the bisexual nature of the flower. Here K it will represent the calyx. So calyx they are in number 5 and they are free one. Corolla they are also in the number 5, they are also free one. Here the androecium they are in number 10. But here in some of the species we are going to observe that here the 5 stamens they are larger one and 5 stamens they are small. Okay, so here instead of 10 we can also write 5 plus 5 arrangement. Then the G represents gynoecium. The gynoecium is monocarpellary and the ovary is inferior here, and the type of placentation is marginal placentation. Then next we see the floral diagram. So once again by observing all the vegetative and reproductive characters, basically the reproductive characters that is calyx, corolla, androecium, and by taking TS or LS in this family, LS of gynoecium, we can draw the floral diagram. So see this one, this is the outer oral. This is called as an calyx. So if you observe the type of aestivation which is present here, so see that it shows the presence of imbricate aestivation, in which see that one oral it is completely outside and all other orals they are alternating with each other. Similar, this can represent the corolla. If you observe here, the one oral it is inside and all other orals they are alternating with each other. Then about the androecium, so these are the 10 androeciums which are arranged here, and after taking the LS of ovary you are going to observe the structure like that under the microscope. And this can represent the bracteate nature of this one. This is one is the axis. So this is the floral diagram of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Thank you. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.